Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how I made the Pokemon Tower from the Pokemon games. In the older games, the Pokemon Tower was one of the many stops you'd make along your journey, and as a kid, I always found it to be a creepy experience going through the tower. It wasn't as bad as going through the old chateau in the Sinnoh games, but I still found it to be unpleasant. Nowadays I just try to get through the tower as quickly as I can, mostly because it's a bump in the road in becoming the champion, and whilst I'm no speedrunner, I'm all about that speed. Weird tangents aside, I wanted to make the Pokemon Tower, specifically the Lavender Town Pokemon Tower, because if you were on the internet in the early 2010s, you knew how much of a grip the story surrounding this tower had on people. The tower starts off as a piece of XPS foam cut into a vaguely square-like shape, and then glued down to a wooden craft coaster. I then take two pieces of cardboard that I measured off camera to be roughly the same size, and then glue them to the sides of the base. These will become the walls of the tower. I then add another piece of cardboard on top to close it off. To make the dome on top of the tower, I take this cheap plastic Pokeball that you get out of a vending machine for like $2, which usually has some little terrible Pokemon figure inside, and glue that to the top of the tower as well. To hide the hole at the back of the tower, I take two pieces of paper and glue it over the hole. It's pretty visible now, but it's at the back, so no one's going to see it. For the receiver on top of the tower, I take an acrylic rod that I've cut to size and then glue that to the top of the dome. I finish off the build by adding a strip of cardboard along the base, and then one strip for each floor of the tower. Then the entire model gets primed white. The tower first receives a purple, followed by the ground receiving a brown. The base details and then the top of the tower receive a dark grey, which is then followed by a black for the doorway and for the windows. The door frame and each of the floor separator beams then receive a lighter grey. I then go over all of the walls with a watered down purple wash, so watered down that it's almost not visible. I then decided that there wasn't enough detail on the tower. So in an attempt to mimic the retro pixel art style of the older games, I added stripes of colour into the centre of each panel on the tower. I then finished off the painting by fixing up all of the ugly windows with a dark grey border. As a final touch, I stippled on some watered down PVA glue, and then sprinkled some model grass over it. And with that, it's finished! Thank you for watching. I'll admit that this isn't one of my favourite projects. There's something about it that I just don't like, in all honesty. But I still wanted to get a video out in December, so I figured it would be best to post this, even if I'm not happy with it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, have a good one.